Hi, everybody. Before we get to another great interview, the Two Opinionated podcast could really use your help. And it's easy, it's free. IMDb, which is the entertainment database, imdb.com, named us a top 100 podcast. We came in at number 82. That's a big deal because there's 15 million podcasts and growing. So to be named to anybody's top 100 list, pretty big deal for us. And the way you can help is to go to imdb.com, look up the Two Opinionated podcast, and that's it. Just bringing our page up. That traffic really helps us out. Our YouTube channel is MeisterCon Pod. All we ask is that you subscribe. It's also free, but that really helps us to attract these amazing guests that we keep bringing on the program. And that's it. 2 easy ways for you to support us, and we would really appreciate the help. Now let's get to that interview. Hi, everybody. Welcome to another edition of Two Opinionated. I'm so excited today. I've got author Just Isaac with me. So welcome, J.I.
Thank you, sir. Feels good to be on here.
I'm pretty excited to talk with you, and you're a lot more than just an author, although that's nothing wrong with that. But let's get into just a little bit of your background. I know you did some boxing, but talk a little bit about, your how you grew up, what made you want to go into boxing. And I know you did a little bit of music there too. I listened to some of your rapping. You're pretty good.
Oh, thank you. Thank you. Yeah, no, I grew up in Western New York. I'm a kid from the projects, Jasper Parish projects, originally, and at the bus stop, you had to know how to fight, I held my first gun at 11 years old. I was only 11 years old, and the gun was still hot, so time went by, and I just learned to fight. I learned to fight, and I ended up crossing the border, going to the great north, up in the wilderness in Canada, yes, and there I even learned the craft of fighting even more, and then I ended up going back and forth because I have a dual citizenship. I've traveled to Vegas and traveled with and been trained by some of the greatest trainers of all time. Floyd Mayweather Sr. Eddie Mustafa Muhammad, Eddie Mustafa Muhammad, but even the greatest other trainers like Hank Boone and Sugar Ray McGivern and Mike Little and Hector and the Diaz family. I've had the greatest trainers of all time. I'm very, very blessed that way to be able to experience the realm of boxing in ways that others haven't.
And I think it's neat to have some association with all those different trainers, because they all bring different styles to it. And
absolutely.
As a boxer, are you just picking the parts you like from each trainer, or do you change your style every time you change trainers?
Yeah, I try to adapt to whatever it is that's in front of me. See, whenever there's adversity, sometimes we have to be versatile.
That's right.
Sometimes, when I used to fight in the ring, I'm retired now. I'm no longer a fighter in a sense where I'm competing. I'll always be a fighter, but I'm more so. I love the dynamics and the technical work when it comes to boxing. Hope that answers your question.
It does, yeah.
I just I love learning. I love learning.
I like because it sounds like you're a boxer. There's fighters that kind of just get out there and hit, and then there's boxers that to me they're a little more technical. They worry more about the actual profession of boxing. I think that's what you're saying.
Yeah. I mean, setting traps and understanding how the person's movement and being able to adapt and to find places where you're going to win. You're just going to win. And I've been very blessed to win, 6 titles, 6 championships. Especially for the fact that I was told that I would never be a champion, because I'm more of an intellectual. I like to think, but a lot of people don't realize that boxing is actually a thinking man's game.
It is.
It takes you have to strategize. You have to think ahead. You have to have a bit of foresight. You get to set traps, and do different things to to win, to hit and not get hit. Skills pay the bills, right?
Well,
So
and
it's
that's, you mentioned Mayweather. That's
yeah,
kind of how he would fight. I always
yes,
enjoyed like a Pernell Whitaker or Roy
yes.
Jones, because they had kind of those styles that unorthodox at times,
Oh my
but it
goodness.
was, they were more thinking man boxers.
Yeah,
So they did a
absolutely.
lot of countering, and Whitaker especially, it seemed like, he didn't often go on the offensive,
Hmm.
but his defense was his offense.
That's
That
true.
makes sense.
That's
Yeah.
true. All right, all right, R.I.P. Pernell Whitaker. I mean, but you're talking about the next level of greatness, the level of when it comes to boxing. I just don't understand why individuals will not give Floyd Jr. his credit that's due. This man has accomplished so much in boxing.
Amazing.
He's incredible, and even his protege. I mean, his protege is amazing. You look at Javante Tank Davis and others that he's taken under his wing. There's so many, Devin Haney and many fighters that he's had under his wing. There's been a flow. It came right
I
from the
always
top.
got excited
Shakur.
watching him, like it's almost he knew where they were going to throw, and his
Yeah,
head was gone by the time the punch got.
God gifted. God gifted. Yeah,
Yeah.
he's God gifted. And still doing exhibitions and stuff and making money. Hey, you know what? If
It's not terrible.
if there's
Did you have a boxer growing up that was kind of someone you looked up to?
yeah, when I was growing up, I really loved I loved Jack Johnson, the first
Oh,
black heavyweight champion.
yeah.
I love the way he caught punches and he was able to parry the punches and he put the his opponent's hand behind their back and give it to him, you know?
Yeah.
And then there was the Brown Bomber. Um the Brown Bomber, that is Joe Louis.
Oh, Joe
How he had
Louis. Yeah.
the 6-inch punch. Now I had a trainer, Sugar Ray McGivern. That's who showed me the 6-inch punch. He grew up, he fought in Madison Square Garden, and he showed me how to punch hard, right? So I just right now all I'm doing is passing this knowledge down, to the next generation, the next up and coming fighters. The things that I've learned, I always remain a student. So
Seems
many.
like
I'm a
you could
boxing
be a
historian.
trainer if you wanted to be. If you thought about that.
I have been.
Okay.
I am
I
trained.
do,
Yes, I
man.
am trained. Yes, I am a trainer. I train celebrities. I train people who are in need. I train even people with fitness at times when I'm not on the road and I have an opportunity to do it. I love it. I love because I'm more than just a trainer. I'm also involved in life coaching as well.
Yeah.
I have people that I've connected with from all over the world, who just want to tap into that next level of greatness that's inside them. And I, like I said, I always remain a student. I'm continuously learning, and I just love life and love people, and I love God.
Yeah, I love that. That's a perfect answer. That's terrific. So you're, in addition to all that, you're also an author, and you've got a new book coming out. I see it there behind you, Traffic Fight.
Yes,
That
traffic fight.
yeah, it looks amazing. That
Right.
is not an easy subject. I'll say it that way. But tell me a little bit about what Traffic Fight is about.
Well, traffic fight. It's not just another story. Traffic fight is just not just another story, but it's a movement, and it's about two powerful women,
Yeah.
Chelsea and Estella, who represent more than just the fight game themselves. I've delved into the realm of the fight game, so I understand how things work. But they embody the struggle many of us face. Whether it's conflict, whatever conflict there is, whatever external forces that we come against, and internally as well. We fight.
Yeah.
We have to fight challenges and overcoming them. Yes.
Yeah, amazing. So tell me a little bit about the story. What is the book about?
Well, the book basically it delves into like how there's two women. There's two women.
Yeah.
Who have faced adversity. They're facing adversity, and in the midst of their adversity, in the midst of the things that are transpiring around them, it's very how do I say this? It's powerful how the story it intertwines with everything that I have experienced as well. There's things that I've experienced. I've had access to the most sensitive files in the nation, working with people from the streets. I'm from the streets, and I always remember where I come from.
Sure.
I'm from the streets. I know where I'm from. I've had conversations and relations with prostitutes, pimps, hustlers, drug dealers, thugs, whoever.
Yeah.
I'm from that realm. I've seen it, and that's the way I grew up. I didn't know anything else. But the story itself is it's a reflection of resilience. This book delves deep in how we can transform our lives by changing our mindset. It's not just about physical strength. It's not just about it's more about mental resilience, and understanding the impact of our actions and finding the courage. We got to have courage. There was a man by the name of Customato. I've mentioned this before. There's the hero and the coward. He said this. This is Mike Tyson's trainer. There's the hero and there's a coward. They both feel the same. It's what they do that makes them different. But we have to have the courage to break free from cycles that are, not conducive to a good life. We want cycles that will produce, a good life, a good, healthy life. But as far as the relevance of the story, in a world of conflict, we have conflict everywhere, Mike. Whether it's personal or societal, like whatever, there's conflict everywhere. And Traffic Fight, what it does is it brings a fresh perspective on how to navigate these challenges that emerge. And we become stronger actually from reading the story, because you become so connected to the characters that it's like, man, I'm here, I'm reading this, and I can visualize what's happening. I can see what's happening. And that's the authenticity of the story.
Well, and I know that you've got it centers around two sisters, I believe, right?
Yes.
And one's a boxer, one's more of a martial artist or a MMA type of fighter. But do you go into those interpersonal bonds, the sisterly bonds, the love they have for each other, so that when they're dealing with the adversity, they're also leaning on each other to get through it. I'm assuming that's what's going on.
Right. Estella and Chelsea, they're more than, as I mentioned before, they're more than just fighters. They're symbols of resilience and symbols of hope. The things that they've been through in this journey, it's raw, it's very real, and it's relatable, and it helps you, as I said before, to help you to connect with the characters themselves. And I think that especially, it doesn't matter if you're a male or a female, because there's male characters in the book as well that are challenged. But the prime, I should say, characters are Estella and Chelsea and their challenges. I believe this so strong, Mike, that men, we are called to lead by example, and sometimes we're not the greatest at that at times, and we're also called to protect. And I also believe that women are gatekeepers to life. That means that no one can enter into the earth realm without first going through the womb of a woman. If you're alive and you're in the earth realm legally, and we're legally here, we have to go through the womb of a woman. So I believe that women should be protected, and also there needs to be a degree of honor. So there's honor with the man, of course, but there needs to be honor with the woman. And then children. When you look at children are so innocent. Children are people too. Sometimes we think because, if we're unaware of it, we can treat I've seen this where we treat a child less than a person. Children are people too. And I believe
that's a really good point.
Yeah, one of the pillars of society is family. And anyone that in the story, you see at times where there's families that have been broken up. Now, there's different levels and different degrees of abuse. We can't just say abuse is abuse. I don't believe that. I believe that, abusiveness it's wrong. It's wrong. But I believe that there are things that are happening right now that are so hideous in the crime that's being committed, stripping someone who has a bit of vulnerability, stripping them of their freedom is next level. That's, and I just man, Traffic Fight is full of unexpected twists and emotional depth, and you just like there's parts of the story I've listened. I've had people who have read it thus far, and I'm gonna tell you they can't put it down.
Yeah, I believe it. I mean, just reading what it was about had me hooked. So I definitely will be getting my wife and I a copy so we can read it. It's I know you're dealing with some difficult subjects. Maybe some things that it's kind of topical. Right now we're dealing with the sex trafficking and the way that we're exploiting women in certain situations. Are you pulling that stuff, kind of from, right from the headline, so to speak, or is it more of a personal situation where you've personally had to deal with some of that?
Yeah,
you're writing.
Yeah, that's a good question. Thank you for asking that. I mentioned in the beginning that I've had access to the most sensitive files in the nation, and I have an obligation to respect people's privacy, and I have an obligation, to also to bring a greater awareness of the things that are transpiring, so that when we have an awareness, I believe that awareness is key. So yes, I have had personal experiences working with individuals who have been trafficked. I specialize in that and helping abused women, and also I've spent a great deal of my life, more than half my life, helping children that have been hurt and abused. Just because there's platforms, there's different platforms. Yes, I've been on the national team, and yes, I've traveled boxing, and yes, I'm an actor, and I've been on the big screen, and I've had many opportunities, even through music and touring North America. But my objective in life, Mike, is to help people and to empower those who, those that are living in this earth, and I believe that I'm called to serve. I'm called to help people. I'm called to help people. And I'm not saying that, I don't know if that's a cliche or not, but because of me receiving the help that I've received throughout the years, and me experiencing what it's like to see someone excel in life after I've been in prisons across the country with my program. I had a program, a life, vision, and purpose program, and I've seen that. When I say the belly of the beast, and they can tell if you're real or not. They know if you're really from the streets, or you really are you faking it, But when you love, there's a thing that I really hold on to, that I can say with all honesty, that even God will make all of my enemies be at peace with me. So there's a new territory though, and I understand. And this new territory is delving into the breaking cycles of mindsets that they're demoralizing. Every high thing that exalts itself against the knowledge of God, I got to pull it down. I pull it down. So the ways that we think, money is good. Money can do a lot of things that can help a lot of people, but we must have our mindset intact, where we understand that our thoughts are organized in a way that we do not have a love for money, because it's the love of money that can cause an individual to abandon values.
That's right.
And and I just believe that we need to make sure that everything that we have and all that we are is aligned to something that's good. Sometimes we fail.
I love that.
Sometimes we fail. Sometimes
right.
we fail, but yo, we got grace. We got grace, but there's some things that that are intolerable, and I don't believe that we as a society should be tolerating certain things. Women need to be, as I said, protected. Men, we're called to protect. And children, they're so innocent and so precious.
Yeah.
And I've had the chance to work with children, and I've seen some children grow and become powerful, even before adulthood.
Yeah, I love that, and I love the angle you're approaching that from, because you're bringing awareness to something that we need as many eyes on it as we can get, and two, you're out there actively helping people, and that's
Thank you.
that's commendable. I mean, that's and it's not easy to do, So I guess when I look at this this book, the question is, do we make it into a movie or a TV show?
That's interesting because I have been approached already.
Well, it's such a good story.
Yeah, I appreciate that, but I like the rawness and the authenticity and everything that's coming. Usually, when you read a book, it's a little different than watching the movie, especially when you've read the book and then you watch the movie. You say, "Oh, okay, this and this is supposed to happen, and this is supposed." But the question I have to ask. This is something that, like, have you ever been in a fight?
Of course.
You ever been in a fight that you feel like you can't win?
Yes.
Yeah, me too. Me too. And if you're looking for a story that will inspire you to keep pushing forward, then Traffic Fight. Traffic Fight is the book for you. But be warned, once you start this book, I'm gonna tell you, I'm being honest with you. Once you start Traffic Fight, because it's engaging, there's always stuff that's happening. Once you start the book, I warn you, don't pick it up unless you know you're ready to read, because you will not be able to put it down. You won't be able to put it down because there's so much stuff. There's so much stuff in it that, man, you're right there, and it's thought provoking, and you feel like, man, I feel like I'm this character right now.
Yeah. Oh, that's yes. Yeah, I love that. I love that. Mm-hmm. And I know that it's not the point of the story, but how good's your fight choreography in the book?
Oh yeah. So there's actually Chelsea is actually, I don't want to give away too much of the story, but Chelsea, she's so gifted. Okay, she's so gifted that she has a thing that's called intuition.
Okay.
But her intuition is at the next level. Chelsea's intuition, what intuition is it's a conscious awareness of vibration. Right. When you're walking through the mall and you can feel somebody looking at you, and you turn around and you look and they're looking at you for real, and you're like, whoa, I can feel that. Or you're driving your car and all of a sudden you feel somebody looking at you.
Yeah.
And you can actually feel the vibration of the car that's next to you. Well, Chelsea is a character that has, she has such a deep intuition, but yet she's a fighter. She is a boxer. She's a raw fighter. So her intuition, she doesn't use it for the ring in so much, but there are circumstances that are outside the ring that Chelsea is like, she's ridiculous when it comes to, when I say ridiculous, I mean in a good way. Her ability to be able to discern, and her ability to be able to, is like this. There's one of the 9 gifts of the Spirit. And throughout the book, you actually see the gifts of the Spirit in operation, meaning that you see supernatural acts that are unexplainable. Everything that's supernatural is extraordinary. So Chelsea, for instance, she has the duplication of her 5 physical senses, but in the realm of the spirit. That means that she can see, smell, taste, touch. She can hear. She can actually, that thoughts are frequencies. That's all a thought is. A thought is a frequency. When you go to the hospital and they hook you up to the hospital bed, what do they collect? They're collecting data. How do they know that there's brain waves? There's brain waves because there's a frequency. And what thoughts are, did you know this, that thoughts are just frequencies? So you can actually we can actually tap into that. If somebody's talking to you, you can tap into what it is that their real agenda is and what they're really about. And in the book and in the story, Chelsea does that. And it's amazing. Estella, Estella's gifting, my goodness. You know what happens is there's a hospital. It's called Lakeside Hospital.
Yeah.
In the story, there's a hospital, and there's a bunch of kids that experience accidents and stuff like that, and different. Obviously, they're in the hospital, but those that are in the hospital, they've been exposed to something glorious, and whatever this thing that's glorious, you got to read the story. When you see what happens from this hospital and all the different giftings that are in operation, it's pretty neat. And how it comes right back around. It's pretty cool. I don't want to give away too much of the story.
But that sounds awesome. Yeah. That because it makes both characters interesting. You know, they've both got these unique abilities, and the story's interesting enough, but now I'm invested in the characters.
Yeah. And Estella, she's more of an MMA fighter. And you know, I started with MMA. My sensei, my first sensei was Sensei, they call him Mr. Lee. He was in Western New York. I learned Taekwondo. I started at the age of 6.
Yeah.
And then I went into to kickboxing. I went into Muay Thai. But the art that I really learned a lot was Japanese Jiu-Jitsu. And that's MMA as well. These are all mixed martial arts. And I was trained by Sensei Harold Howard. Harold Howard. If you look up Harold Howard, I was his favorite student. Harold Howard, he was out of Niagara Falls at the time, but he's moved since then. But Harold Howard, that's when I first came to Canada. He trained me, and he said, "You got to go into something like boxing one day." He said, but this right here is good for you because it's teaching you discipline. So every aspect of the characters' lives, I'm able to tap into what it would be like to be them. If that makes sense. So like even when Sensei would train me, you know, he fought in the original UFC. The original UFC. Before UFC became so big, Sensei Harold Howard fought in that, you know. So mixed martial arts, I've won tournaments, battle at the border, you know, through katas and all that, you know, through mixed martial arts. But, you know, I went into boxing because I really wanted to hit people at that time. Yeah. I'm just being honest. I felt like I had hope. I could fight my way out. But now I understand that the fight is transformed into something that is distinct and unique. And I believe that God is so incredible that he can take our own unique potential as individuals, and he can cause us to use our giftings, you know, for something that's good.
Love that. And good for you for taking the lessons that you learned, and now you're paying it forward. You know, you're out there and you're working with kids and you're helping women and you're writing this book to bring attention to it. I mean, that's tremendous. So congratulations with that. You're going to have to come back when this becomes a TV series or a movie. You got to come back and talk some more about it.
Yes, you do realize that this is from the. It's funny that you said series. You first said movie.
Well, I could see it either way, but in my head, I'm kind of like I could kind of see it as a TV series.
And you know what? That's exactly the direction that we're going for the book. It's called the series is called Fight the Shadows. You hear that? Fight.
Yeah,
the shadows. Because we're breaking. When I said fight, I whispered it. Because we're fighting or we're breaking invisible chains. There are invisible chains that are being broken. Fight. You know, I say that in a way that there's a significance to the invisible, the things that we don't see, the things that we're unaware of. It doesn't mean just because we're unaware of it that it's not happening.
That's right.
You know, so the series, yes, the series is called Fight the Shadows. So
I love the fact that there's more books coming.
Thank you. And I just love the impact in people's lives where they say, like, some people that have read the story already, and they're like, wow, how did you think it? It's not me. It really isn't me. I'm just along for the ride. A lot of people have poured into me throughout the years, as I mentioned, and now it's time for Just Isaac to pour back and to help the people by what I know to do and how I know how to do it. And it's only by the grace of God. And I'm just so thankful. I'm thankful for your show, Mike, this opportunity and this platform to be able to share, and others that you've had on your show. I've heard so many great things about you. I don't go to just any show. I want you to know that.
I appreciate that.
And you've been spoken very highly of by my people and the people that I'm connected to. And I want you to know that I appreciate what you're doing, Mike.
Hey,
and not only that, listen, the people that you're affecting, the people that you're affecting, the way that you're affecting them is by your character. Because I hear nothing but good things about you. I've heard that before the interview. I like to know, who's going to be asking me questions, what's happening, right? And there's nothing greater than being known as a good person.
Hey, that's a huge compliment, and thank you so much for taking a second to pass that on. That it means a lot. You do stuff hopefully for the right reasons, and you don't do it to be recognized, but it's kind of nice when you're recognized once in a while. So thank you so much. That means the world. Where can we find Traffic Fight? Is it out yet, or is it coming out?
Yes.
Where can we get it?
Yes, you can go to justisaac.com. Justisaac.com. JUSTISAAC. Justisaac.com. You go to justisaac.com, and it'll give a link, and you can download it right there. You can get the book. You can order hard copies, soft copies, ebook, and even audio will be available. Audio will be available very soon. So,
are you reading it? Are you the audio voice, or are you getting somebody to do it?
You got to come and see that. you got to crack that one. It's wouldn't it be something though if there's a time and there's a place. Wouldn't it be something though if when this book reaches the big screen? The big screen that a lot of people forget about.
Yeah.
The big screen I'm speaking about, when it reaches the big screen of the masses, is the big screen within our minds. Because our mind is like a canvas. It's a canvas, and whatever our imagination can paint, whatever our imagination can draw, whenever our imagination can conjure up, we've been designed this way. And I just want to break cycles that are not conducive to a good life. I want people to. This is not, in the book. Once more, I got to say this, Mike, before we head out.
Yeah. Because
I know we're winding down. The book itself. When I think about how we are, how we've been subjected to so much information. We're being bombarded on a continual basis.
Yeah.
Isn't it something to have something that, that we receive, that we know before even receiving it is going to give me something that I need?
Yes.
It's gonna help me to some extent.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely.
And, yeah. So the mind, fear is only a thought. And we need to have our thoughts organized and continue growing and developing as people.
I love it. Well, Jay, I thank you so much. This has been just the best. The book is Traffic Fight. I can't wait to read it. I'll let you know what I think. But
Amazon as well. It's on Amazon. I'll prefer you go to justisaac.com so that I can connect with you.
Well, that's right. We want to support the smaller guys. We don't. Amazon's got enough. But if that's your option, take it, because the book's going to be worth it. Which, by the way, you mentioned Mike Tyson. Boy, he still looks like he could kick somebody's butt if he wanted to.
Yeah, Mike is bringing it. Oh, I forgot to mention. Listen, Mike. For as far as the social is concerned, Just Isaac Ji. That's the TikTok. Just Isaac Ji. That's the Instagram, and Twitter is Just Isaac. Twitter.
Yeah, it comes right up when you put that in. It comes right up.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yeah, that's great. Yeah,
Mike.
that was my next question. Was the social so amazing? Well, Ji, you've got to come back anytime. You know, when you're ready, just reach out. We'll get you back on.
Okay, here come the series. I'm gonna hold you up to that.
Oh, I'm ready for it.
All right, we're in volume 1 right now.
Volume 1. Are you? How far along are you on volume 2?
It's written on my heart.
Yeah.
Not to sound corny, but it's written on my heart. It's already written on my heart. I already know. I've already been writing. And I plan on releasing it in mid-January. There's actually a day in January that is for to fight against trafficking.
Yeah. Yeah. Amazing.
There's a day.
And that's so fast. I mean, that's coming up fast.
Yes. Yes, absolutely. Absolutely. Yeah. So 2025, by the grace, if we're still here, 2025, the way the world is evolving, you never know, Mike.
Yeah, that's right.
Life is precious, and I'm thankful for life. I'm thankful for every moment, that I have, and I'm just looking forward to seeing and hearing, what's about to transpire.
Yeah, amazing. Ji, thank you so much, and definitely, anytime. Let's do it again.
Traffic fight.
Hope you guys enjoyed that. Just Isaac, just a terrific human being. I absolutely love that. Heck of a boxer, but even better of a person. Just amazing. And he's out there using his talents to help people. So kudos to Ji. We didn't get into it because he doesn't really do a ton of it anymore, but he's pretty musical. He's a good musician. Really good stuff. If you want to look that up, you can go to his socials, or you can just put in Just Isaac Music and it'll come right up. Really, really talented guy. I think he could be good at anything he tried. He's just one of those people. The book is Traffic Fight. Let's help him out. Let's go out there and check that out. It's such an important subject, and one that we all need to put some attention on. Let's help Just out for sure. Thank you guys so much for tuning in with us. Definitely don't take you for granted. Our website's meistercon.com. There's 833 and counting episodes on there, audio and video. So check us out there. Our YouTube channel is MeisterCon Pod. Please subscribe. It's free. Really helps us out. Thank you guys so much. Till next time. Bye, everybody.